Hi everybody, welcome to our channel. My name is Wing Liang, the Aragon watch designer, and welcome to our Aragon watch presentation. Now, a couple months ago, we introduced the ARAGON Millipede EVO GMT, okay, which is the automatic version. Now today, in today's video, I'm going to introduce you the same collection, okay, which is the ARAGON Millipede EVO Sun and Moon Automatic, okay, and I promise you, when we are going to come to the close-up look, this watch with the same watch case design will surprise you because this is a different version with the silicone strap and it's completely a everyday watch. All right, so let's come in and I can't wait to talk about this watch. All right, so what we have, the close-up is a lot better to see. So I really like this collection, and I know you guys are familiar with the brand new the ARAGON Millipede EVO. You know, as you can see, I purposely introduced it with the bracelet version first, and I want to introduce the second version of this with the silicone strap. Now, as you can see, like without the bracelet, okay, this collection has toned down a lot. You know, with the bracelet, it looks futuristic or it looks ultra modern. But with the silicone strap, it tones down a lot. I mentioned this before. And I also want to say, we're using the same movement. And what I've done, using the same movement and create it into a completely different design. Now, this is the SII NH34. Okay, which is the GMT automatic movement. I'm sure there are a lot of brands out there already using this movement, but we were one of the first to be notified by SII, the Seiko group, and we immediately, I was so excited. Immediately, I start designing a lot of varieties using this movement. Now, what I call this is the Millipede EVO Sun and Moon. Okay? And I tell you why I call this Sun and Moon. Let me pick out the blue version first. So as you can see, normally with the GMT, you have the hour, minute, second hand, and the GMT hand, but you don't see this with this movement. Let me show you from the back. Okay. These are, by the way, these are all brand new, and we just took it out of the warehouse. And you guys have really have to have this collection. Really, if you already collected the Millipede EVO with the bracelet, you have to have this. Now look at this. Why I call this Sun and Moon? Okay. I modified this movement. I'm not so sure if we are the first one in the world, but certainly this is the first ARAGON automatic Sun and Moon using the SII NH34. Now, so what I just did is I pull the crown all the way out. As you can see, this is the 12 p.m., right? You can see the sun is above and the moon is below. Okay, so this is 1 p.m. and I quickly adjust it to 6 p.m. You can see the moon, right? So now, quickly turn the hour hand set at 12 a.m. Isn't it cool? So if you haven't seen anything like this using, now let me be specific with everybody. I didn't say there's no Sun and Moon automatic watches out there. There are plenty of Swiss-made brands with this complication. What I want to be specific is using the SII NH34. Okay, even Seiko doesn't have this. I should say the NH34, the SII, they don't sell the movement like this. All right, so let me quickly turn it back to 1010, and let me show you. Now, this is purely adjustable. Okay, it was purely my idea, came up with that. I'm sure maybe other brands seeing my video, and they're gonna start doing the same thing. Now, look, you can adjust the sun and moon just like that, right? Just like the GMT hands. Any position you want, okay? Based on, but it's based on the 24 hours clock. Basically, that's what I was just trying to tell you. All right, so if you want to align it again, so set the hands at 12 and turn the crown on the first click clockwise. Okay, all right. So let me share with you, since I already introduced the watch, the sun and moon, let me share with you what's behind my idea when I was designing this collection. Oops, so sorry, just kicked the stand by accident. So when I was designing this collection, I designed this collection with the EVO, the Millipede EVO, and the Millipede Max. They were designed at the same time. So I spin out the Max and the EVO into two different style. Now, if you remember the previous video, I designed this case to be a donut-shaped case. So it's going to be more classic. With the bracelet, it takes it to another level. But without the bracelet, this could be an everyday watch, right? There's a fixed bezel, donut-shaped case. And I love this free-form lug, how it's curved. It almost looks like a horn. Maybe next time I'm going to come up with a name for this specific lug. So I'm holding the 50 millimeter. From lug to lug is about 55 millimeter. And the width, the width of the lug is 24. The thickness is 15. The crown is 9 millimeter. Water resistance is 200 meters. So definitely you can swim, shower, do anything you want, as long as your crown is locked, okay? Silicone strap. What we have is the matching stitching with the dial. Now, let's take a close up look at the dial. Now, this is absolutely beautiful, okay? What we have is, this is very, very interesting. When you get this watch home, or if you can see the close-up of this, so the outer dial is vertical brushed. I don't know if you can see it. That's why you see this metallic shininess to the dial, right? And then if you can see the inner edge, the inner circle of the dial is cut in free form. It's really interesting. I came up with this idea with another design, which is the Regeneron, to make the dial even more interesting. All right, so right below this dial, there's this gap right here, and all you see is like a black. There's another dial underneath, okay? So the sun and moon is actually floating between the movement and the outer dial. All right, so let me show it to you with a close-up. By the way, I'm going to show you when I put it on what it looks like. You see how, can I find this angle? There you go, you can see it. And even though the inner dial is cut free form, every time when the sun and moon dial rotates, it's not touching, but it's very, very close. So this is all about precision making. Now, another thing interesting about this dial, what I created, it was specifically purpose done this way. You see how the hour index is overlapping the outer dial, but at the same time, it's not touching the sun and moon dial, right? So the 12 o'clock is smaller. With a purpose, there's the logo. So when you see this, let's just say this, okay, it's white Lume glow screen. Now, when you see this watch in the dark, when the Lume is glowing, and when you see this short index, that means it's 12 o'clock. Isn't that cool? All right, so let me turn it back, and I'm gonna put on the watch to show it to you. So by the way, My favorite watch right now. I wear it every day. So I'm going to put on the black dial because I have given enough attention to it. This is the piano black. Okay. But the outer dial is done with this vertical brushed texture. Now you see how interesting it is? The sun and moon dial is using this, is using this black dial, the same Pantone black on the outer dial. It makes the outer dial completely different. It's like a tone in tone. Same Pantone for the outer dial and the sun and moon. And the result, see, look, you see this? With the light hitting on the dial, it's like a tone in tone. And when without the light, it's purely the same. I think a lot of you are going to have a hard time picking because all four are amazing colors, right? So this is the 44 millimeter. So the sun and moon dial, right, for both sizes are the same. Okay. All right. So what else I can share with you? Like I share with you with the design inspiration from the beginning, and then I also explained to you about how I come up with the movement, the sun and moon. I think it's really, really cool. So if you're a watch enthusiast like I am, I always talk about this. Besides collecting a watch based on the style, my favorite part is the movement, the complication of the movement. What I was able to do from a GMT movement, spin it into a sun and moon movement, and I hope we're one of the first doing this using the SII NH34. Now, I want to emphasize this. I'm not talking about some Swiss movement companies. I'm talking about using the SII NH34. All right, so let me, as I promised, I'm going to put on every single one. The colors are amazing. 44 millimeter and 15 millimeter in thickness. For the 44, lug to lug is approximately 49.5 to 50 millimeter. And the width of the silicone strap is 22. Okay? I think it's beautiful. Even the greenness, the red, mentioned many, many times. I don't know what's going on. The red has been very popular. Just got to do this. So at the end of the video, stay with us for another 5 to 10 seconds because we're going to show you the Lume shot. It's white Lume, glows green, and I hope I cover everything. So if you can't decide what size to get between the 50 and the 44, I think it's a hard choice. I think it's a tough choice. I tell you why. Let me do this. Okay? Because the case is so well balanced. Okay? The 50 and the 44, you see the 44 is a lot smaller, right? And the point I'm trying to make is, I know a lot of guys, they like 38, 40, or 42 millimeter. And what I want to share with you, if you can wear a 40 or 42 millimeter watch, that's your preference. 44 is not that big, and I explain to you why. So here's the center point. So from here to here is 22 millimeter, right? So if you say, oh, this 44 is too big for me, you know what? If you're used to wearing 44, it's only 1 millimeter from each side. It's not that big of a deal, in my opinion. Maybe, and if you're 5 feet 6 inches tall or taller, wearing a 44, is well balanced on your wrist. For the way, let me emphasize this one more time. If you look at me, I have 6.5 inch wrist. I'm wearing a 50 right now. Do you think it is that big? I don't think so. I think I can wear a 50 millimeter. But would it look better on me with a 44? I think it's equally the same, in my opinion. All right. And I want to tell you one more thing. I've been saying this again and again. It really depends on how the case is designed and structured. You know, sometimes, yes, I agree. Like some of the watches, when it's not well engineered with a lug, right? Even a 45, it seems too big. But every single Aragon watch that I design, I'm careful, very careful with the sculpting the case, the lug, and everything. So it really balances out, and I don't look at a watch based on, you know, the spec of 50, 48, or 46. I don't look at it. I look at it as how well the case is designed, right? I've seen watches that they're not well designed, even though a 44 I think is big. Anyway, I think I said enough. And a lot of Europeans are buying our watches in the larger size, and I talk to them. They much prefer to wear a 50 or 48 or anything larger than 45. It's interesting enough, right? All right, guys. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy it. You know, this could be a his and hers or anything. You know, or you can get 2 sizes in multiple colors. All right. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. And the next video I'm going to do, even though it is not here yet, and I'm going to give you a hint, is the Aragon Dive Master Central Automatic Tourbillon. Okay, see you next time.